Now we're going to deal with the engine side of things. This is what we got going on back here. Convertible W deck lid, the full W stamping. Nice and rare. You'll want to keep that. But original convertible drains, drain tubes, and drain gutter, rain catcher setup. The problem with that is dual carburation, dual carb linkage, deck lid standoff situation, right? So we got these, and we've got these massive deck lid standoffs on the other side here. And it's not a great look. We're going to take this to SyncLink, which is going to allow us to get rid of the hex linkage. And the reason why we're getting rid of the hex linkage is because we want to lower these carburetors down. And we want to lower those carburetors down so that we can clear the drip tray, so that we can put the deck lid all the way down as God and Volkswagen intended for it to be. So that the beautiful body shape and the flow of the lines and everything all work while keeping the cool style points of having a convertible deck lid, the extra ventilation. It's not really needed for your high performance engine. Yeah, and while we're at it, we're going to change this to a 36 horsepower shroud. It's a VW Thing shroud right now, which cools incredibly well. But the 36 horsepower shroud is the next best cooling. The Raby down through the middle is the ultimate cooling, and you know, people are going to make claims about cooling this, cooling that, cooling the other. This thing already has an external fan. It already has an external oil cooler. We're getting it set up with a filter setup as well. So bottom line is, this puppy is coming out. Take the shroud off, be taking the carbs off, everything. Gonna do shorty manifolds, put it all back together, put the deck lid down on it, give it a nice tune up, and make sure that we've got butter smooth throttle and acceleration. Yeah, it'll be fun. So that's what's going on in the rear. Oh, and Addie's here, hanging out, having a good time. She's in her full pink jacket because I don't have the heater turned on, because that messes with the audio, as you probably heard before. So yeah, fun times. Cozy little carburetors in their boxes. Oh, really? Why? They used the fiber intake manifold gaskets. Now, I get it if the intakes are ported, because you got to cut them bigger. But they didn't cut these bigger. They just used them anyway. And you can see the imprint of where it was overlapped, right? So around here on that imprint, that's where it was, the gasket was overlapping the intake. If they had matched ported it and opened it up bigger, then you would have better flow. And then using a fiber gasket would make sense, because the metal gasket works a lot better, generally speaking. People are going to fight with me on that, but I don't care. I don't care what anybody thinks. It's my show. Right? I hope she's still alive. Wow, she is asleep, man. She is sleeping. Sleeping! Let's see how bad this one was. Yeah, same thing. Good 3 mil overlap on both of them. So 3 mils less of flow, just disrupting that intake air. Piece of crab. Wow. Shouldn't be that tight. Somebody use Loctite. All right, going on. They made their own They made their own Bowden tube, and as you can see, no, you can't see down it. You can't see through it. As you can see how wavy it is. Look at how wavy it is. That's pleasantly wavy. Look at how. Can you see through it? No, that's right. You can't. You couldn't see through it even if you wanted to. Not even if you wanted to. All right. Yeah. That's crap. It was a crap idea on their part. Look at how wavy it made the accelerator cable. VW had an original Bowden tube. It has like a spring to it because it's a coiled metal with a sleeve down the center and a rubber outer casing. And oh man, is it just as crappy, quite honestly. But it holds up a lot better than what these guys did. And we're gonna have a sleeved guide tube that goes all the way to the front with a cable that goes through it, and it's got a Teflon sleeving inside so it never wears out and down and never drags and hangs up. It's gonna be smooth and so nice. What was I doing? Right. Coming in. Oh, I know. Trust me, I know. Yeah, cars can float. It's boring. It's real boring. Yeah. Uh-huh. Boy, I agree. We have these highly intellectual conversations. We also play chess. She usually wins. Yeah. I'm gonna put the hammer away. I personally don't like having too many tools out. It drives me crazy. I don't know why. I'd rather go get them back out of the organization that they are in, whatever form of that is. But at a certain point, when I know I'm not going to need something like this, I'll probably re-need. I broke my own brain. Yeah, I'll probably re-need that, but I won't re-need most of this. So I'm going to put it away, and then I can run and grab it when I do also need, again, it. Fall. Hey, don't lick your leg. Don't do that. She does that when she's bored. You're not supposed to do that. I know. You shouldn't be bored. This is entertainment. Don't do that. Lie down. I know you're cold. I don't have the heater on. So that they can hear us. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to set up to pull the engine out and probably take her on a walk. Don't. Yeah. Walk time. I gotta move the stool so everybody can see you. Oh, so pretty. Such a good girl. Okay, so we're back. We walked and, you know, now we're more or less content, right? We're happier. We're happy. That's happy. That's what happy looks like. Okay, that's not what happy looks like. Now we're loathing. I see. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this thing out. I've taken all 4 bolts off that hold it in and everything, and it's about ready to just come on out of there, hopefully. It can be a little tricky to do this one man, so you know, it's just gonna be what it is. But I've done enough of them that hopefully we have a successful endeavor. The trickiest thing about the 55 generation body is that as they had to cut up that breastplate really bad and all that stuff to make it all fit in there, this is too wide an engine, it's too big an engine to be in here in its native form. So, you know, it's a little bit shoehorned in here, so getting it out is usually a little bit more of a struggle. Usually. I think I've got an okay balance point on the jack. That's the other difficult part about all of this, is like just making sure that you strike a good enough balance point. But should be able to wiggle it on out. Now it's already overlapping. It's already overlapping the body, which stinks. To put it one way. A little pry to try and a little bang. Try and get the engine tin under. We've sort of got it under one section. I don't know. We're gonna see. Okay, we're getting there. We're medium of the way out. Looks like we've got an empty clutch pack on here, maybe a 1,700-pound clutch from the general look of it. We're not all the way out on the studs yet, though, so it's going to have to come out and drop down, come out and drop down. We're going to have to do this multi-stage act. And like I said, that's because there's not really enough room to just get it full on out. But the apron also, you know, it'll only allow for so much. So on some performance Beetles and race cars and stuff, you make these aprons break away, which can be nice. And we're very close to it. Very close. Not quite off the input shaft yet. There it is, but we're unfortunately going to hang up on this sheet metal over here. Okay. Well, we can go up with the car or down with the engine. Either way, it's going to want to rock around a little bit. I'm going to go up with the car. I can go down with the engine a little bit. There we go. We're over the river and through the woods. Kind of. We good? That's sort of what we needed to see. Generally speaking, we're reasonably balanced right now. Now, this is a game of clearing the alternator and the distributor, which really, it's somewhat difficult to do, especially when the jack acts that quickly. This is where sometimes it's helpful to have a second person here. There we go. Just got it, maybe. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can go up without the engine just falling. I don't know if you could see the terror in my eyes, but there was terror. And it's out, and it's balancing. It's always a little bit of a balancing act. And we're there. Bring her down slow. Steel toes. Everybody. Steel toes. Oh, look at that. Addie's bored. She's like, I'm out. He's done. Okay, so that's an engine removal. And now we get to see exactly, ooh, she's a little pivoty on there. Moved from the cart itself. Now we get to see the clutch. And good heavens, it looks like it's struck a few times on these retaining pins. A collar's on there. It's wearing a collar. Oh, hi, girl. Hi. Go lie down. Go lie down. Yeah. And it says Kennedy. It is a Kennedy engineering clutch. And it does not say the stage. It should. Come on. Stage 1. There we go. It's a stage 1. It's really, like, marred up. I don't understand why it's so marred up. The answer is probably going to be inside the transaxle housing. Oh, I do see why it's so marred up. Travel with me here. Let's get this engine moved out of the way. All right, so here we go. I'll show you some things. And I've had too much coffee today, so let me tell you, it's going to be some shaky camera work. We're coming up in here. Now, part of the fun, let me take my hat off because I don't want to get it dirty. It's going to bump into everything. Okay, so part of the fun of all of this, see, there should be another one of these clips here. There's this little retaining clip. Let me adjust the camera angle. All right, I can't do that. Well, whatever. There we go. So there is no clip on this side, as you can see, but there is a clip on this side. That right there. And that retaining clip is going to retain the throwout bearing. It's release bearing, retention clip, throwout bearing, whatever. That's what this is, the throwout bearing here. So without that on this side, look at how fancy that is. Right? It's just been having a devil of a time. And here's a piece of it. So there we go. That failed. And it looks like it peppered a lot of this like buckshot markings around up here. I wonder if there's some down by the starter. just a lot of metal in there. But yeah, okay. So that is part of the problem. Hey, look at this good looking cap. You should get yourself one. Yeah. All right, cool. That's an advertisement. See how tore up this is. I've got a magnet with which to fish, and there it is. The busted up, broken up, screwed up, messed up, broken off, broken over, broken up with. My camera can't focus. Dropping off the workbench-ish. Release bearing retention clip. And then this would be a part of it too. Okay, so we are rocking and rolling with the 55 rag project. It's so much fun. And we're just gonna keep on doing what we're doing. Now the engine's out. I gotta remove the alternator and clean some stuff up. We're obviously going to be doing some custom tinware on this so that it fits up in here a little bit better and the breastplate fits down nice and fancy. And so I'll get to cutting and welding and splicing and doing some of that stuff. And we've got to do oil filter hoses and all sorts of nice fancy replacements for these things. So we'll get to it. We'll get after it. We'll keep doing the disc brake work on it, and I'll be, showing you whatever the heck I'm showing you right now. Me, Addie, an engine, a Beetle, and a brighter tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. The heck am I doing? I had way too much coffee. I had so much coffee, girl. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. So much coffee. I know. You want nuggies? You get nuggies. Yeah, nuggies. Yeah. Yeah. That's a happy dog. Yeah. Such a happy dog. Okay. All right. Been over pretty much everything on it. From an external point of view, replace the alternator, bunch of AN stuff. Valve covers are welded up with AN bungs. Checked end play, we're sitting pretty, everything's nice. Got rid of the standoffs, got rid of the breather box. Let's throw this engine in this Beetle. Needs to go that way. What a bummer, dude. Okay, getting there. Okay, so got the insert in, had to start it on the threads first, delicately, and then slap it, pull it, slap it some more. Now we're on 3. So that means I can drop the jack, go up with the car, whatever the heck I want to do. You can actually run them on 2. You can actually run them on none for a little while. Just gotta watch your clutch engage. You can run them on 1. I've seen them run on everything. I've seen them run on -3. Anyway, we're on 3. Positive 3. 3 fasteners. Hello, heater. Thanks for doing your job. Here we go. That was anticlimactic. Oh, that's some oil. The oil drain plate is not tight at all, even in the slightest. Come on. Would not have thought that would have been my challenge of the day. Okay. We're there. Look at how pretty that is. That's real pretty. I like it. I think it's good looking. Now there's a couple of things. There's a breather box, goes in the back. We can mount this in a few different places. I was waiting to see where the engine would come out at. The original mounting location was right there. So as you can see, this fitting here, par, is going to need to do something interesting. 90 degrees, or I'll have to change it for a 90-degree fitting, something like that. If it's going to stay there, which, honestly, that might be the best spot for it. And the other option is moving it over here, but I got to wait till this carburetor is installed to know exactly where everything lines up over there. I don't mind that. That's cute. You know, this is cute too. It's whatever makes it all work, right? Got to get the carburetors installed and trim and install the breastplate tin and trim it some more and trim some more, and then install the front breastplate tin. The behind the pulley tin and the breastplate tin. I guess those are the 2 tins I'm referring to. So behind the pulley tin I got to put in, but I got to install, I got to trim it. Then we got to take those both out and get them powder coated. Those would be some of the last things to get done on her. In the meantime, I can do all the stuff up. And the very last bolt, the hardest button to button, is the starter bolt from the back. Yeah, it's looking good, right? I mean, that's hot. That's pretty damn hot. Right there. There. That thing. The crazy little thing called love. Okay, I'm being weird. I know I'm being weird. I'm being weird. Sometimes I'm weird. Ah. Old man noises. Old man Moses? No, old man noises. It's an oil dry on this puppy. Soak it up. Soak it up like you mean it. Going up. Yeah. And there we go. Good times. So here's what we got going on. Installed the shorty manifolds, lowered the carburetors down. We're doing a sync link, which is a really cleverly designed cable style throttle for like throttle linkage for the carburetors, right? Except the sync link is going to interfere on the cylinder head tin on the driver's side. just by nature of design. So I'm having to modify and bring the sync link bracketry to an angle so that it'll still jive with everything, only on the driver's side though. So here's what that looks like, right? Here's your sync link wheel, and the cable rides in the groove of this wheel up top, which is really nice and clever. There's a cable that goes from that bracket all the way over to this side of the engine that connects up there, and then this wheel as well rides the throttle, right? So this guy is clear of the cylinder head down here, which is fine, the cylinder head tin, which is great, fine and groovy. This side, on the other hand, is not in its natural orientation. Now, I've already cut it, but I'll show you guys. It was all one bracket like this, right? So if you can see there where I've made my cut, it was one bracket like that. And as you can see, it was not going to be happy as one bracket. It was going to interfere and you wouldn't be able to get that lower cable guide down in, right? So I've gone ahead and cut the bracket. Now what's fun about the sync link is they've got some groovy drilled holes, right? And I think those holes are just to be nice and fancy, and they just want it to be lightweight and cool looking. Here's what it looks like on the passenger side bracket, right? So there's those holes, right? So they're cool looking, yeah, fine. That's all good. But what I was able to do with them is actually use them for alignment. So I cut it right in between the three holes. I cut it with two on this cable guide side. And then I've bent some solid aluminum rod and put it in the hole, shimmed it with a little aluminum filler for welding filler. And this bracket's going to sit right about like this. I'm only doing this to basically achieve the correct angle. And then after I've achieved the correct angle, I'm going to put plate in place and weld it up so that it's nice and secure and stout. There's a lot of different ways I could do this, but I wanted to be able to play with the angle, and so this is what made the most sense. Here's what we got going on. I went ahead and modified this bracket here for the sync link so that the sync link will work with the shorty manifolds, which will allow the convertible deck lid to close. Let me show you what this bracketry looks like, and I'll explain to you a little bit about what's going on, and then we'll just keep on trucking with the 55 oval window rack. So here's the sync link bracket, and you can see how if it were coming straight off of the carb base like it was designed to, it would have interfered with the cylinder tin. So I had to put it at an angle. I got a little 20 mil by 20 mil rod, mitered it for the appropriate angle. I cut the sync link bracket into two pieces, and away we go. I'm not the absolute best with aluminum welding, but I'm getting better at it every day. And so I managed to do some actually pretty tricky joints on this. I did grind down and polish some of them just because that seemed to be what would make it look prettiest. It doesn't have to be super pretty, but I wanted it to be, you know, nice overall. So that's what it looks like. You can see at the base where the bracket was coming out, and then you can see up where the joint is now, where the fastener is holding the cable brace, for lack of a better word, or the cable bracket. You can see that that used to be at the lowest point of the bracket overall. So I spaced it up and angled it so that the cables will rock down to the wheel and everything will work out nice and happily for sync link throttle. Sync link is one of the best throttle systems ever, period, for Volkswagen Beetles and Porsches and all kinds of different stuff that, you know, use kind of Weber-based carbs. And so, yeah, that's the reason for running it, because it's the nice one. And there's other, like, it could have done a center pole linkage and other things. If you take a look at how far spaced out that is from the wheel, and then you look at how far spaced this out is from the wheel, it's maybe a little bit further out, but there's a lot of adjustability in the cables. And that will allow us to properly run this sync link on this engine. That's my hope anyway. And so that'll be great. Y'all, there are few things that I love more in life. Very select few things that I love more in life than an exposed engine on a VW Beetle. I'm talking deck lid off, deck lid support hinge bracketry off, just the engine sitting there like a crown jewel. Let me show you what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. This is one of my favorite looks of all VW Beetle engine bay looks. And I know it's kind of cheesy, but in my heart, I'm still an 18-year-old that is reading VW Trends magazine from 1997 or whatever, you know? Don't do the math, because it's not even accurate. But I mean, yeah, the car needs a wash. It's dusty. We're gonna get her all washed up and everything. But that's it right there. That is what you want. And I gotta put the engine lid back on it. And it's gonna be a sad moment for me. And I'll do it because it's what I have to do. But I don't wanna do it. I wanna leave this puppy right like this.